and welcome to Tarmac. Today I've got my hands on the new Nissan Z or Z, depends which country you're from. What Nissan are calling it is basically a modern interpretation of a very familiar sports car. So there's lots to see of stuff that you'll be very familiar with, and also some stuff that you'll go, wow, that's new. Come, let's take a look at this. Now, the Nissan Z, or Datsun if you were in other markets outside of Japan, started off life in around about 1969. I think it was a 1970 model when it first came out. And a lot of it was around the numerology to do with what the engine size or the performance size of the engine was. Things have changed. This is now the most modern 7th edition and all the numerology is gone. So now it's just the Z or the Z, again, depending on which market or how your accent is. But anyway, when it started out, its first mission was to be a 3-litre engine with a coupe styling and a 2-seater, and that basically has remained the same all the way through, I'm pleased to say. But things have changed for this latest model, but again, there's still a ton of familiarity that for those that have had them on the way through, you'll be able to pick them out as we go through. New things like the Nissan badge is now here. The grille has now got these little slat things through here, so little ovally, I don't know, oblongy things. But the other thing is these headlights that are now LEDs have got these C shapes to them, which really refer back to the 70s models. So lots going on for the history buffs here that are liking, I don't know, a little bit of modern, a little bit of old. Gotta like that. Moving round to the side here, what we've got is 19-inch feet that have big brake calipers that are in red, and also just a really modern take on some really nice alloys. The Z or Z or the modern Z still has this lovely long bonnet, so those long sporty car long bonnet lovers, you're still in there. Overall lengthwise, we're around about 4.3 in length and 1.3 meters in height, so again, still got that lovely sporty stance about it. The roofline still sloping lovely down, or well down towards the rear. Nice little bit of garnish across here. Some of you will find that familiar. And also a modern take on the door handles from, I think from the 370s or something around there, but still a modern take on something you guys will already recognize. The Z or Z badging, and as I say, the rear just floats down to this lovely boot spoiler here, which is just leading us straight round to the rear. Again, the new Nissan badging, but also this has got a nice little party trick because that's where you can open up to get inside the boot, which doesn't give you huge amounts of luggage space, but enough for, I don't know, a weekend away if you want to pack lightly, which is, you know, pretty much what you want to do, these sporty lifestyles that people have. The rear tail lights here are in 3-dimensional and also refer back to the 300ZX. So again, people that have, I just love the fact that they're bringing all of these sort of modern takes on their older models. So, well, they do have 7 to play with, don't they? So that's fine. And also lovely twin exhausts or 2 exhausts that actually lead all the way under the bonnet. So let's go there. So in keeping with tradition, it is still a 6-cylinder, only this one is a V6 twin turbo, and I'll get to the figures right now. So it's married to a 9-speed auto, and what it gives you is 298 kilowatts of power and 475 newton meters of torque. So in terms of horses, they've upped it by about 68 horses, and I think it's around about 30% more torque. So there's really is tons gone on, and that's been done with just better manipulation of the turbos. So they've managed to get more out of it through clever technicians doing what they do with turbos, which is awesome. It's around about 10 litres per 100 kilometres in fuel efficiency, and also around about 258 grams of CO2 of emissions per kilometre. So not the most efficient. You're not going to get any rebates out of this, but nor should you. It's a sports car. Again, those familiar with the Zs or Zs will be quite comfortably at home inside this cabin. It's still compact, it's still bijou. The seats are awesome. They're a little bit of Alcantara, a little bit of leather, but also they've still got the adjustable bits back here. So those that are always fumbling down the side here, they'll see it just here. But those that have had a Z or a Z before will just go, oh, I know where they are. Awesome. It is a bit plasticky. Let's not get past that, but the layout's really nice. The gear stick is very easy to use, and also has your manual or your normal auto. Your drive modes are here, start, stop. Your heated seats are up here. You've also got your pods all facing towards the driver, so you've got your boost, your oil pressure, all there pointing directly at you, and a new infotainment screen that is touchscreen and really just gives you the information that you want, and also is attached to a Bose stereo. But the big thing is when you move over to the instrument cluster, which is a big 12 inches. Let's have a look at that. Like I said, 12 inches of digital display here, and the best bit about it is the fact that you can change this display. So poke on here, you go to change the display. You can go from normal, what this is in, down to enhance, which makes it a little bit more separated like this, or you can go to my favorite one, no doubt, sport. Just look at that. Everything's there. Everything from your turbo boost to your oil temperature to your water temperature, even your diff temperature is all there, and all based around your revs. So just brilliant. The other thing is, just coming back, you've got this deep dish steering wheel, which is very cool. That still has all your sort of adaptive cruise and all your volume controls from there. And for the first time, look at these paddles. You can go up and down that 9-speed box, and they're actually very similar to the ones they're in the GTR. So just so much going on. Speaking of lots going on, this is a sports car that loves to be driven. So let's go and drive it. So the one thing I forgot to mention about this car is just how fast it pulls off the line, and how it kicks its ass out. It's brutal, absolutely brutal. 0 to 100 is sub 5 seconds, so I think it's around about 4.5 seconds. But it really does lay those tires down to the ground so rapidly and so brutally. So I think this could be a real handful when you get this out on the wet. But boy, it's a fun drive. The sound also, when you start getting up in those revs, that V6 is just solid. It's so loud and so exciting. Actually, the whole car is very exciting. Looking around the dashboard here, around the cabin here, it is, like I said, very plasticky, but it's very familiar for those that have driven or been in behind the wheel of a Z or a Z. And there's something quite nice about that, sort of knowing where you are and where everything is. I love the amount of gauges that are pointing towards you, telling you information that most people won't really care or even look at. The steering itself is very well weighted, and the steering wheel feels so good in your hand. Feels like a sports car, which is, I guess, what you want. Visibility, not massive amounts out the back. Side's fine. There is also a blind spot orange light that pops up when something's going to take over. Overall, it's a comfortable place to be, and a nice place to be. And especially when you put your foot down and you hear everything just pick up. Really enjoying the pedals. You get full control over what's going on under the bonnet, and you can drop right down and listen to it roar. Oh, just makes that excitement, but you also feel so under control. So even when I was losing a little bit of the back end back there, I didn't feel like I'm about to plow into the fields or anything like that. Felt good, felt okay, felt in control. Lovely. The gearbox itself is a little bit tetchy in traffic, so it does tend to sort of grab a little bit, and particularly if you leave the gearbox in sport mode when you're in traffic, and I don't know why you would do that, but it does tend to snatch quite a little bit. But when you're looking to go quickly, and you will be looking to go quickly, it just goes up and down the gears brilliantly. And just Oh, it goes right up to 7,000 revs and it puts a smile on your face, which is lovely. Handling itself, very tight around corners, little bit light in the rear end, as I said, but not uncontrollable, which is, yeah, what you'd want, right? Just the amount of plastic is a little bit of a letdown here. It's in sort of places where you are going to touch, so I think there could have been a little bit of a feature or something rather than just hard black plastic, but you know, I guess they're trying to keep the cost to a certain level and probably harping on the heritage of an older Z or Z, so I understand it, I get it. Turning circle is actually okay. It's not massively wide when you're turning, and also sorry, forgive me a moment. Skip that gear, should have left it in auto from there, but see, it will rev limit, which is fine. And just listen to that V6 go, all those extra horses, all that extra torque. I mean, there's a lot to play with. The other thing is there is a fair amount of road noise, particularly in New Zealand. We've got horrible roads. Hate our roads. Apart from the cambers are really good, but the actual road surface is just so open pored and nasty for tires that are grippy but don't offer any noise suppression. So you will probably have to turn your Bose stereo up quite a lot to get rid of that. The chassis is tight, so cornering is a joy actually, and the balance of the vehicle is so good. You can tear it into corners and feel very neutral. It's a lovely neutral position to be in. I can see why the cult of Z Nation is big, because if the old ones are as good as this, which unfortunately I haven't driven, then you're onto a winner. So there you have it, the new Nissan Z. No numbers in front, but plenty of numbers under your feet. It really is a cracking sports car that you will just want to take away at the weekends and play with. It's fast off the mark, sounds lovely under revs, and just a joy to handle around with. It's not the poshest inside, but certainly from a sports car point of view, I don't think you're going to be disappointed with this at all. Now I'm just going to go and play. See you on the next time.